What's going on, everybody? Welcome to this new episode of The Clues of Success. I'm your host, Max Moala, and today's guest, we are in spirit for a special treat. We have LeRoy Wolfgramm, and then for those youngins who don't know who LeRoy Wolfgramm is, he was the member of the Jets, and I'll just share about a little bit the Jets, but they were the first Grammy-nominated Polynesian band ever to have 3 gold and 4 platinum albums, 4 world tours, Seoul, Korea, Olympics, best new band in Japan, London, top of the pops in Montreal, Switzerland, 8 top 10 billiard hits with radio stations, and Spotify still jamming their songs today after all these years. So we appreciate you being here. LeRoy, how you doing?
Hey, really good. Thank you for having me on, man. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, welcome. Welcome. Yeah. So, obviously, man, you guys have done some amazing things, back in those days. It was a very, very, new space. I think you guys were, Tongans haven't really been in the States very long, and you guys came here almost with your feet just running, hit the ground running here. Yes. Tell us a little bit about that story, how you guys even got into it, but more importantly, how you guys were able to become so successful.
It was incredible. My parents are from the island of Tongan, and my parents, they came here in 1965. I was just 3 months old, and we moved to Salt Lake City, Utah. And my dad was a natural entrepreneur. He was also a weightlifter, and one of his dreams is he wanted to be the strongest guy in the world. And when he was in Tonga, as you know, at that time there were no gyms, no gymnasiums, and so he would just build his muscles, with cement. But anyway, he came out here. He became Mr. Utah after about 4 years. I remember as a kid always watching my dad in the competitions and just seeing his drive. So as we started getting, more kids, I don't know if many realize I'm actually the oldest of 17 kids. So 17 of us. I got 10 sisters and 6 brothers. Yeah, so there's a lot of us. But I think right by the mid 70s, I think it was like 10 of us that were born. And my dad said, "Man, I gotta feed all these mouths, man. Gotta find a way to keep everyone fed." And so he decided to kind of put his weightlifting thing to the side. And, he was watching, the Jackson 5 and the Osmonds on TV. And wait a minute. He loved the concept of family in a band. And so he decided, all I know, before that happened, as I was growing up, he also started a yard work business. So we did yard work in the morning, every Saturday morning, man, 6 a.m, right on the dot. My dad, everybody in the truck, so me, Heine, Rudy, and the older boys, we'd go with my dad and cut trees and lawns, and it was tough. We'd do 20 houses from the, 6 a.m, we'd be home, it'd be dark. But I think a lot of learning how to just work and be tough, especially in the hot, Utah summers is crazy. That really kind of, I guess, helped me, realize, I'm grateful that my parents taught, and especially my dad teaching us to work hard. But, at the same time, when he saw the Jackson 5, he said, there's got to be an easy way here. There's got to be an easier way. And so I just remember he called a big meeting, a big family meeting. We all were in the living room, and he said, "All right, guys. All right, kids." And I think I was like 10 years old at the time. And he said, "Okay, we have a choice here." It was a big family home evening. And he said, "Do you guys want to keep doing yard work every Saturday? Or do you guys want to do music?" And of course, we all rose our head. Heck yeah, music. Let's do it.
It could have been anything. It was like, do you want to do yard work or do you want to, clean the dishes? I want to clean the dishes. It could have been anything.
You're right. And so obviously we wanted to do music, and then I just know, I think it was like a week later, I came back from school. My dad went and bought a drum set, guitar, a keyboard, a big organ. It was all set up in our kitchen, in our kitchen living room. And I was like shocked. Whoa. He goes, "Hey, we're going to start our band. I told you I wasn't messing around." So he got the instrument. He said, "Okay, Roy, you want a guitar?" And he just told us, you go over there. And we started a band. He put me in charge of teaching everybody. So our first song was "You Ain't Nothing But a Hound Dog" by Elvis. But that's how we got it. Man. So Yeah.
I mean, obviously, your dad, man, what an incredible. I mean, for anybody who wants to do bodybuilding, that takes just a lot of discipline just to exercise, But at that level, and to win, Mr. Utah, to win any state of Mr. Anything, I mean, just shows a level of dedication and discipline. So to do that, and so
it's good.
And then, and then also that's kind of incredible that he saw that, he was inspired when he saw the Jackson 5, and he was like, I have a grip of kids. I have 17 of them.
Yeah,
I can start a rugby team with two reserves. It's like, or I could start a band. And then he had that thought, he had that inspiration, and then he acted on it. He's like, listen, I'm gonna make this very easy for my kids. You guys want to keep doing yard work, some hard manual labor. Or if you guys want to do, let's see how use our talents. Obviously, you guys were you guys always like a little bit musically talented before he even decided that? Did it come out of nowhere, or?
No, before. So my mom was a hula dancer, and so before that, I remember even like when I was 7, like they'd always have us do all the Polynesian dances. So we did like the tongue sticking, Maori haka and the kailao and all those. So we kind of had that background, the dancing aspect of it. And then
so you guys were already somewhat performing. Got it. Okay, and then so just tell us about it. You guys are in depth. You guys are starting performing. You guys have some traction here. Why? Because, I think a lot of people enter the music industry, but not everyone is winning platinum records. Not everyone is winning records or deals or even get signed,
Right.
So why do you think, what set you guys apart? Why do you guys even think you guys have even lasted that long or even made it?
Right. It was just the fact that my dad had such a vision of what he wanted to do with us. I mean, he quit his job at Safeway because he hated the rat race. He hated the 9-to-5 kind of life, and then he would come and complain, 1 week of vacation, you kidding me? And so we hit the road literally like a year after we started the band. He didn't care. He said, no, let's just go. And our first stop was Canada, of all places. Like, what the heck? I mean, this guy comes to a new country, doesn't even know how to drive the highways, but he didn't care. He said, we go to Canada. So we went up there. We were there for like 2 years, and we were a Polynesian band first. That's what we did. And so did that a little while, came back to Salt Lake after those 2 years, and then my dad said, okay, there's still got to be more. We got to still do this. Then we got a call to the Midwest to go to Iowa and Minneapolis. And again, we've never been there before. No Tongans over there, right? And so we get in our van. We go all the way to the Midwest. There was a hotel chain called the Hawaiian Hotel Chains. We started doing that, and we did that for like maybe 2 years. The place went bankrupt, bro. And so we were stranded, literally, in Minneapolis. We had this, had no place to go. And, what do we do now, right? And my dad just thinking, because, we either got to go back to L.A. to Hollywood, or we're going to go to New York to finish this goal that we have as a family, right? To be like the Jacksons. And so anyway, my dad did a quick pivot. He said, okay, no more Polynesian stuff. We're going to do top 40 music, straight up. And so we switched our music, and we started playing the music scene in Minnesota. That time, the club scene was strong. And anyway, we started doing that for about a couple of years. I mean, and then all of a sudden, like I said, there's this little guy, little 5'11" guy's named Prince. He blew up with Purple Rain, that big movie. I don't know, but Prince is from Minnesota. And we just happened to be at the right place at the right time. I mean, because we were trying to figure, my dad had this feeling, no, let's stay right here. Let's stay in Minnesota. And his feeling and gut feeling and what he felt for the family was right, So anyway, we met a guy one of our agents at the time knew a guy named Don Powell. Don Powell was retired from Motown. He's the guy that he managed Stevie Wonder, even managed the Jacksons for a little period, the Marvelettes, and he discovered David Bowie in London. Oh, wow. He happened to live there. And so our agent got him to come see the show. We were playing the clubs. He was impressed up, and he said, look, I want to sign you guys. And so that was the first step. And I was just grateful that my dad just followed his intuition, you know what I mean? And it led to meeting Mr. Don Powell. And then, after that, we signed I was in high school at the time. I was a senior. And then that year, we put a demo together to go start shopping the deal. A lot of labels coming to LA, into Minneapolis. And so he went to New York and tried to shop the Jets, this new band. And dude, we were turned down. Everyone said no. He was kind of getting frustrated. I remember him calling us, they're calling you guys a poor version of Menudo. Menudo was a Puerto Rican band that was kind of big. I don't know if you remember Menudo, but, and so, we were kind of feeling that. And so he went to, so let me go to Hollywood. Let's see what the West Coast has got. Went to see all the agents and all the record labels out there, took our demo, and our first song was called Curiosity. And again, we were turned down. Everyone said no. They're not. They were kind of weirded out. Okay, who are these people? They're from what island? They're from like Tonga. They didn't know how to say the name right. So there was this kind of. But then a miracle happened. The vice president of Black Music Division at MCA, named Jheryl Busby, somehow our demo landed on his page, on his desk, and he took a look at it. And wait a minute, I like this. What is this? He listened to the single and he loved it. Anyway, we happened to have a show that we were booked at the Reno Gold Nugget in Reno, Nevada. Our manager reached out to, hey, if you want to see them, they're Reno. Come out. Dude, he came out, saw the band. He was floored. He loved what he saw. And within a year, we signed with MCA. It was a $3 million contract, 7-year album with 7 albums. It was, back at that time, that was huge.
Yeah.
To get that kind of a contract.
Wow. That's just like, gives me chills just hearing that story apart, as far as like just following that gut, following the intuition, moving to a place that you guys would never, where there's no, like, completely foreign. Yeah. When you're already in a foreign place to begin with, like you're just moving and you're putting forth effort and action, and regardless, you're getting shut down. But your dad had this clear vision of where you guys were supposed to be, and just meeting the right people and then being in the right places, and people are like, man, that person got so lucky. But really, they don't see see how much rejection it took. They don't see how much courage it took to be in those places, to put them in a position to win, right? Or to meet the right people.
Right. It was literally a 7-year struggle. A lot of people don't really remember it. We started in 7
years.
Yeah, 7 years before we got to where we got.
Wow.
We went and going up to Canada for 2 years, coming around, and then spending all those years in the Midwest. Yeah, 7 years, man.
Wow.
No overnights.
And I think, that's definitely not overnight. That's like 365 times 7. I can't do the math that fast, but that's like around 22,000 days, been nights.
Yeah.
And people are expecting, most people, they're very short-sighted, short-term, where they want to see the results very quickly. And then they might think, maybe this wasn't for me.
Yeah.
But man, I would love, as far as, what kept that drive to keep going, and not quit on night 21,000, to push another 1,000 nights. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
I think a lot of that came from his weightlifting, because when you're lifting weights, it's all about that endurance and then pushing. And I think he kind of applied that to us. We were like that same mindset that a weightlifter would think, being tough. Just, hey, it hurts, but I'm going to keep moving. And, one thing that I loved about my dad is we would play out of these clubs, and a lot of the clubs were empty, right? And he said, I don't care if there's 2 people in there or it's filled. You play like there's a stadium there. That was something he always told us. Don't half bake anything. Just play like there's 5,000 people in that place. And dude, it really paid off. I think that's because we'd be kind of discouraged up there. I was like, 17-year-old with my brothers. The age, it went all the way down to Liz and Juana, who were 9 and 10 at the time. The only way we could play in the clubs, because we would do like 4 sets a night, 4 45-minute sets, is that we would do the club owner was allowed to put us on the stage, but after we have to wait outside. So that was our life, man. And so we do that at night. Wake up at 6 in the morning, go to school, do our homework, come back, practice for about 3 hours. And then we hit the club. We did that for year after year. And I think that pattern of doing that over and over again, it was helpful for us. You're asking me, that's a huge clue right there.
Yeah,
persistence over and over again.
If you don't know who I am or new to the show, I'm Max Moala, owner of Uppy Investments, a real estate investment firm focusing on buying apartments in the Sunbelt states. Our deals are designed to be an extremely tax-efficient, hands-off investment vehicle where you will reap all the benefits of owning real estate without the headaches. No toilets, no tenants, especially no cockroaches. Partner with me today, Uppy Investments. Right, and just having that vision, like, hey guys, we gotta play like this 5,000. There may be only the 5 people watching, but we're gonna already be prepared to play in front of a crowd of 5,000. You know, and we're gonna play our best every single time. It kind of reminds me of, like I remember when I was in college and we were running sprints. Wow! And I kind of asked one of my friends, and I said, hey. I was like, which one do you think we should do? Do you think that we should just run all out every single time? or should we save ourselves, because we don't know how much we're going to run? And he said to me, he goes, well, if we really want to get better, we better go give it our all at the very beginning.
100%.
And, and so I thought about that. I'm like, man, it's just almost increasing your ability and your limits, right? So if our limit is at a 5, and we're only going to save ourselves to stay at a 5, the 5 is going to always be our limit, right?
Yep.
But if we keep pushing 5, and pretty soon, and we keep pushing ourselves, we're slowly going to break that ceiling and increase it to a 5.5, to a 5.75, to 6, to 10, and slowly get better. So I love how your dad was just saying, hey, we're going to give it our best. We're going to play it like there's 5,000. And you guys slowly were increasing and getting better and raising the ceiling for you guys.
Right. Awesome. Yeah, so I just got to give it to that kind of and he was always pumping us up. And that's how he helped us, So, no, thank you for that observation, because it was that little, 1% rule, right?
Yeah. Just,
increments, man.
Small incremental, progression.
Right, aggregation.
The aggregational gain, the marginal.
There you go. Yeah, marginal gains, man. That's pretty much it, brother.
Atomic Habit, guys. That's, obviously, we're reading that Atomic Habit for those who are kind of seeing. It's a great book. Obviously, I think, everyone could benefit from it.
And what was great is that during those years of doing that, when the opportunity was able to meet with our preparation, it was a beautiful thing. Because by the time Mr. Jheryl Busby met us 7 years later at the Reno Nugget, we were ready. I mean, we rocked the stage because of those years and years of just not giving up.
Yeah, and you're not having stage fright because you guys were like, hey, we're gonna perform like this 5,000 people. The time you guys did, because I saw you guys had performed at the World Series, you guys had performed at the Olympics.
Yep. 80 million people. Yeah.
8 million people.
80 million. Yeah.
80 million. Holy
it was an audience. Yeah, that's how large it was in Korea. It was a blessing. We all glory to God, man.
Wow. So I mean, you guys had prepared yourself before you guys had actually arrived there. You guys were all prepared. I mean, wow.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's amazing. Honestly, I still hear your guys' songs here like all the time. Like you'll hear on the radio. I remember my brother-in-law was saying when he served a church mission in Brazil, it would pop up in the taxis, and he would tell his companions or tell his friends, he's like, "Hey, this is my family," and they would say, "Nah, man, you're lying," And I was like, wow. And so it's still relevant today. People, you got to look them up. The Jets, listen, you can still hear their songs. I think you guys have been on some. I believe there were some movie albums that you guys are also on.
Right. Yeah.
And even some some relevant popular artists have even redone some of your songs. I saw Britney Spears had done a remake of one of your songs, and then also Aaron Carter.
Yep. Crush on You. We had Crush on You. Yeah. Skrillex did a version of Crush on You. He's the DJ Skrillex, and that thing went 10 million posts on YouTube or something. It was our song.
Wow.
Crush, and that was amazing. But, the main thing, my dad had 3 philosophies that I heard all my life. The first one was, and I'll just say, and in his beautiful broken English, right? He would tell us, don't be a pussy. He'd say that straight up. Translation, don't be shady. Don't be half-butt effort. Like I said, perform like there's a stadium out there. And the second philosophy he always taught is, he would say, hey, son, come here. Don't do much wah-wah in hot air. meaning don't talk too much in hot air, meaning, don't talk, just go do it. And the third thing, and I always hear my dad say, hey, you come here, you be tough, and you go do the thing. That on those three pillars, man, that I gotta give it. That is kind of the foundation on which we stood. And he would teach that over in our family meetings, and because we're from Tonga, I mean, it's like 4-hour meetings. It's not like your little 10-minute meeting. It's like 5 hours. Pull out your sleeping bag, man. But that's what we grew up with, And, my dad would just go on and on these three main things. But I'm so grateful because when I look back, that is the foundation. I live on it, even because I've always been an entrepreneur, and I still use those 3 points. Don't be a bullshit, don't do much wow, and you be tough.
Yeah, man, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. I mean, as far as hey, don't stop lying, be honest be authentic, be who you are.
Straight up. Yeah.
Stop talking, just go do it. Nobody, just
and that's how he was. It was like tough love, right? Yep.
Right. And then be tough, I mean, and I think you need to be tough nowadays, because especially if you want to kind of be almost in the limelight or be in those things, there's going to be a lot of negativity out there. And there's going to be a lot of people, more people against you than more people with you. And so you got to have some thick skin. You got to be able to be tough, especially, for any type of success. You're going to have a lot of negativity, a lot of people talking about you. And if you can block out those naysayers and block out those, those haters, haters are going to do what they do best.
That is so true, man. Yep.
Yeah.
I get that. Yeah.
It's and so you gotta be able to stay focused on and stay, the eye on the prize and be able to just keep moving, taking the action one step at a time here.
Thank you.
But I love those 3 pillars. I think those are, you gotta have some standard pillars that are gonna be able to help push you. And I'm starting to realize that for all these people who have made it successful in any of these various industries and walks of life, they all have these things here. For those who want to pursue this type of career and become in this limelight here, what would be some advice, or as far as some things that they should be aware of and things that they, would be good to know that could probably help them, protect them?
Sure. Well, I kind of wish we were in, we had all the tools that this new generation, I mean, one thing I can say, you guys are in the best time in the history of music. I mean, everything that they do, that they did back in my time, those models are gone. I mean, now it's literally, you've got the internet, you've got YouTube and all of the social media that you want to be an artist, never has been the best time to do that. I mean, you got SoundCloud. And so I just say, obviously, your technology to the new generation, rock the world. I mean, it now kind of falls on your shoulder. A lot of the models are so different. Where you had a big machine like MCA Universal pushing us, you can still do that as a route and still sign up. But it's incredible because now you've got the YouTube stars and TikTok, which is just elevated the game beautifully to anybody. You don't have to be just, we just came in a time that was very unique. The opportunities were really small. I mean, it was short of a miracle that the Jets even made it and even did what we did. Because it was just like, where did these guys come from, And I just give all glory to God, I thank you, Lord.
Yeah.
And that's where it came from. It's just hard work, like we just been talking here, So
yeah, man, I probably for a second that here because of technology, because of this, because of internet here, the world has gotten a lot smaller, and our reach has gotten a lot wider and a lot bigger. And so now, things we never. I mean, sometimes I feel like it's unpredictable, but there's probably an algorithm for why things go viral.
Right?
I haven't looked into it at all, so I wouldn't know. But things, man, those things that go viral, man, they can, it can change life. And I think a lot of people who want to pursue this here just understand it's not going to happen overnight. It's not. It's going to be, it could be a 7-year journey. Just like how you guys.
Exactly.
And I think more people are successful. They'll realize, and you'll start to it is. There's not really an overnight success. They were putting in the hours. They were putting forth all that work and effort.
Yeah,
it was only overnight. We heard about you, but it didn't happen overnight, right?
Exactly. It's just like my brother Piney. He's the second one to me. He's got 14 of his own kids, and they have a band too. They're called 13 Crowns, and they were just on the Tamarind Hall show last week, and they're like our legacy. They're I mean, it's been such a blessing, and they're called 13 Crowns, and they've been all over. They're literally following in our footsteps, and so, but they're a band, and just like, to allude back to your question, again, it's a beautiful time to do music, and they, we shared with them, and they start realizing, dang it, this is not as easy as 1, 2, 3, right? And they've been at it for about 4 years now. I think, no, it's actually more than that, but, same thing. We tell them the same thing, hang in there and patience, man.
Yeah, some patience, some
love your craft,
hard work. Yeah, you definitely gotta love it. And I think you also got to remember why you got started to begin with, because there's going to be a lot of down days. A lot of hard times, and I'm sure you guys did. What were some of those hard times, those challenges, obstacles that you guys had to overcome during that time?
I don't know if many of you realize, I mean, we're not a perfect family, especially a family. So we actually went through a lawsuit, bro. I mean, it was the sisters, I guess, my mom, dad, and the brother. It was horrible, bro. It was like 5 years. Talk about a failure. Talk about, something that hit home, family. Here we are trying to, but, here's the good news. After that hell that we went through, and this is just, kind of recent, my parents was able to bring us together. Thankfully, now we dropped the lawsuit. We're back together again, stronger than ever. I mean, and just that we went through that hell, it really made us appreciate one another even more now, because we realize, even though we're not a perfect family, we realize families are very important. And I'm just so thankful to God. And my dad was able to witness that before he died 2 years ago. And that he saw us kids come together. And so, I mean, I see our whole journey of the Jets. We did the start, we went at the top of the business, and then we went down. I mean, I was working at Walmart, literally, because we all kind of went all our ways, had our families. Then we tried to come back up, and then we went through this lawsuit and crazy, and then we dropped it. We came together. I love it, man. Our journey is up and down, man. We ain't perfect either.
Yeah. I mean, everyone has their own journey. Everyone has their own story, but as if we can keep pushing, there's going to be a time where we overcome, if you could just stand it long enough,
Yep.
Man, yeah. What a story and what a journny. As far as values and you guys making it to the highest of the highest, and getting in this part of life that not many people get to experience here. Why do you guys think you were able to, kind of trying to keep some of those values, or maybe you didn't? I don't know, but as far as things that could be, can kind of change what your beliefs and be influenced by just world, the sex, drugs, and alcohol, or that type of lifestyle that you kind of see.
Well, we absolutely saw it left and right when we used to tour, and we were so grateful because we were out there as a family. My mom and dad, even my grandma and grandpa, they came out on tour, and I think that one thing that really held the glue for us on a emotional and spiritual level was our faith in God, in Jesus Christ. I mean, that has been the thing that I'm so grateful. My parents taught us, you know what I mean? If you go through hard times, you turn to the Lord. And I can only tell you, we're not perfect, but that has been the common thing that's brought us back every single time. It's just our faith, you know what I mean? And just realizing there's a living God up there, man, and can help us with business or whatever we're doing,
Yeah. I love that. As far as, having that faith in a higher being, having that faith in God, that helps you keep grounded,
Yeah, amen.
Man, I'm glad that you guys were able to make it out, because many people, they experience that life, they don't, as far as unfortunately, the overdose or, something that unfortunately happens where, so,
and I
it's a blessing.
I hear you. And I apply it to what I do as an entrepreneur. I mean, I have failed like you never knew. and so just in my journey of that, I apply all of this. And it's really helped me as a person, and I've gotten into real estate a little bit, and I ran a couple companies and just fails miserably. Lost a lot of money, but hey, that's how you learn, man. But I think the toughness of the yate, kind of helped me.
Yeah,
tough,
hey, you're still applying those same teachings that your dad had.
Oh man.
Like, hey, don't be don't be a bullcrap.
Yeah, exactly.
And take action.
Too much wawa, yeah.
Yeah, take action and be tough. And that toughness is going to take. You're going to get a lot of punches in the face. You're going to get a lot of.
It's that typical island style tough. That's how he was. Every time I hear our song, like in the store or something, I always brings to my heart. How did my dad, a slipper wearing, broken English, how did he take us there? I mean, I just give all the glory to the Lord that he was able to do that. And so, again, if that's any inspiration to any of your listeners, man, you can do it, man. The American dream is well and alive, or whatever the heck you want to do. So.
Oh yeah. I mean, actually, it really is. It really is. Yeah. It's really out there for those who are willing to put forth the effort and the work. And the grind to go and to forget the naysayers, forget the haters, and be tough. Stay very focused, on that without losing, your belief systems and remembering, if that's your belief, yes, please, keep those, be the best.
Sure. Thank you.
I had one of my rugby coaches growing up in high school, and he, and one thing that he taught was, whatever your belief system is, whatever it is, you be the best that you can be.
Amen.
You represent. You be the best son. You be the best brother. You be the best friend that you can be. And he pushed that. And his teaching and his coaching style was very different from any other sports that I played. And we were very, very successful. This is when I played for the Highland rugby team. We won a lot of national championships. And
man,
he was always pushing about being the best you can be in whatever your beliefs or you are,
Yeah. Oh, wow. You echoed exactly my dad's philosophy. 100% all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And so now, I mean, and you ask the question, like, man, how did my dad, the slipper wearing, broken English speaking, Tongan and fob, how did he bring us here? But man, hey, hard work and success is not biased to if you can speak a certain language, and
Amen.
Just because you're broken, maybe you don't speak English very well, but that has nothing tied to intelligence. That has nothing tied to your desire, So, it does. None of those things matter, It really doesn't.
Amen.
But if you put forth those effort, and it eventually. You will rise.
Yeah, you're right. That's his proving card. He named it.
Man, what an inspiring story and journey and some experiences that not very many people will ever get to experience, man. And I appreciate you for sharing those things with us here.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Any last advice that you would have for those who are listening that you would like to share?
Yeah, I mean, just, I guess, always ask yourself, honestly, what do you love doing? What do you enjoy doing? And whatever that is, go for it. I mean, never again has there been so many tools given to you. It doesn't matter if it's sports, music, architecture, whatever, real estate, business. This is the best time to be an entrepreneur, or just do what you want and monetize it. And so that's what I would say from where I came from. And so you can do it. And I wish you all the luck, man, and just don't be fearful.
I love it.
Get out there and do it.
LeRoy, again, thank you for coming on to the show, sharing your experiences. And also, for those who are listening, LeRoy is actually the producer, and he created my intro and outro music that you're listening every time you hear the podcast. So,
oh my gosh!
So thank you again for that, everyone.
Oh, just one more plug in. If you guys want to see us live, we're at the Jets 80s 90s Experience, our residency here in Las Vegas. So please come in. If you want to see us, check us out there, and every Tuesday night.
How can we find the schedule for that show?
Go to vegas.com and scroll kind of towards the middle. You'll see the Jets 80s, 90s experience. We've got a great show. We do all our hits. I mean, you're basically going to see the Jets in our prime because me and my three brothers produced that show, and it's basically take you back to 1988 in our prime. You're going to see us in action. And then my other sisters, they also tour, Juana and Liz and Eddie. And so there's kind of like two Jets out there, but we support one another. And yeah.
Oh, man, love it.
Love
okay.
Yeah, come see us.
Yeah, so if you're ever in Vegas, look up the Jets, go to vegas.com and go find the Jets 80-90s experience and get taken back in time.
Thank you.
To see them in all the glory. Well, I got to make it out there one of those times.
Yes, please. I'll get you in there, man.
Okay. Well, everyone, again, till next time, and you take a listen to some of the music that LeRoy had produced for us. Have a good night and good day.